We have with us tonight a special couple that I would like to call up to the bima. We're coming to the last two questions. And it's going to not come from me, but from people in the audience. I would like to invite Raquel and Alexandre Look to please come up. Their son, Alex Look, was murdered on October 7th. He was bravely standing in front of a shelter, protecting the people there. He fought and almost won over the terrorist. He's a hero here in Montreal, and I would like to honor his mom and dad to ask the next question.
Thank you. He was the definition of a hero, as you are. After October 7th, as we saw more of the horrific scenes, our girls being raped, our babies burnt, kidnapping the elderly, the babies, surely the world would see what we see and understand what we already knew, I thought. And as we were still sitting in shock, still not even getting Alex's body back, I heard that in the streets already there was the pro-Palestinians celebrating. I saw the Gazans, all of them, spitting on our hostages, hitting them. I thought for sure, finally, the world will see. It got worse, upside down world, as I call it. And in shock and in grieving and still not having him back, we called all the news outlets to explain. My son, with all his beautiful friends, were at a music festival for peace and love. This was a Canadian citizen on vacation, not a soldier. I explained. I thought for sure fellow Canadians would understand. And yet, the hatred, I heard from the Palestinians that, no, your son was for sure shot by IDF. I explained to them that I was on the phone and had the pleasure of hearing the last words, my son fighting, khalas, khalas, the shots and the Allahu Akbar. So they needed to own it. Then I said, well, Hamas probably understood that there would be a big response for this horrific nightmare. But how did Hamas know and have the confidence in all the useful idiots in the Western world that we see on our streets, in our campuses? How did they have that confidence that these useful idiots would be so capable of changing the narrative? We forgot the hostages, the babies, Alex. It was all about the poor Gazans, like that.
Well, first of all, we're all sorry for your loss. And I know your son was a great hero. He sacrificed his life for the others, and this is the greatest sacrifice. And I know what's worse than your loss is actually this whole chaos that happened after October 7. October 7 was something, and inverting the narrative and all the accusations and all the lies and the false narrative that is entitled for revenge and compensation, even on the top of their crime, not capable of apologizing or making their position clear that this does not represent us. And yes, they celebrated right away. They celebrated on October 7th. They celebrated on October 8th. And the Jewish blood that they witnessed on October 7 ignited the bloodlust in many of them. Just like an animal or like a beast, the moment they taste or they smell the blood, nothing can stop them. They just become monster. This is the reality of the people we're dealing with. But you know that you are not alone. And you know that this has been the fight. It's a war of narrative. Your son fought bravely to the last breath, defending others. And we will continue to fight until the last breath, until we win, and until the truth prevails. Because this is a war of narrative, and there has been a false narrative circling the globe for almost 70 years of falsehood, and we must expose it. This is the least I can do, and I want you to know that you are not alone. I'm here, I stand with you in solidarity, in support. The bond between us is beyond politics. Your pain is my pain, and God's willing, there will be time that we will meet again and we will celebrate an absolute victory to honor the memory of your son and all the fallen soldiers.
Thank you. Thank you.